Don was 58.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He had turned 58 that May, and Don died, I think, on May the 8th,
Yeah, yeah.
1962.
Yeah, that was his last year. Hello?
My father was 58 when he passed away.
Oh, yeah, and he comes
And
to
I
us.
think,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think Mace Lex Lewis was 58 when
Ay,
he,
qué
when he
lindo,
died.
que ya está en el pasado.
And I think
Ya está en el pasado, ya
Stuff
pasó.
Smith was 58 when he passed away. Did you ever hear of Stuff Smith?
Oh, yeah.
Sí.
Swinging violin player? Yeah. And Mace Lex Lewis?
Yeah.
Estoy
Mace Lex
resfriado.
Lewis was from Chicago?
Sí.
I
Siento muy
guess-
pesado
I think he
con-
was.
Yeah.
I
And
would
Pete
gu- I would
Johnson,
guess he was.
Pete Johnson and Albert Ammons, they were all,
Sí,
they all hung
señor.
out together.
Yeah, those guys, they were
They,
Kansas City guys.
Somebody told me they invented Boogie Woogie.
¿Dónde estás?
Yeah, well, they- I-
No.
I don't know
Those
who's
are
actually
stars,
credited
that's
with the
a-
inventing.
it's a
Because
because of
across the street, like if
Uh-huh.
the piano is up near the window, and we'll say that
Ok, voy a
Mace Lex
llamarte
Lewis
después de la
would
nueve.
start playing, da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the other guy
Sí,
would hear it,
señor.
and then he would, ta-da-da-da-ta-ta, and then
Igual.
the two of them together, they got it together there, you know.
Yeah.
And by the two of them playing it across the street from each other, they started to come alive. It became it was called Boogie Woogie or something like that. That's what I heard. That's the story I heard. Might be a
Yeah.
different one though.
But it could be. I mean, the earliest one I've heard was Pine Top Smith.
Oh,
It was the
yeah.
earliest records I
Oh, I
heard.
see. Mm-hmm.
But you know that I think it might have been the same year though Lex Lewis made his first record, so that's hard to tell. I think it's 29.
Yeah.
I don't know who did it first.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I always just assumed it was Pine Top.
John and I went to Birdland one night. That was called the Jazz Corner of the World.
Yeah.
And they had Pete Johnson. Earl Garner was playing there too. They had three pretty good piano players there. Art Tatum was there too.
Oh,
Art Tatum with trio. We had Slam Stewart working with them.
all right.
And we wound up, Don and I, up around 135th Street, 137th Street there. And Art Tatum play a while, and Don would play a while, and somebody else would play a while. And the first thing you know, it was daylight. Yeah.
Was the third piano player a white guy?
You mean,
With Tatum and Art, Al Garner?
no, I don't think he was, no.
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 Because there was a Mike Colicchio who played for the Ed Sullivan Show,
Yeah.
who was a jazz pianist. And he did play somewhere with Tatum and Earl Garner. He said everybody who wanted to sing came to me because Tatum terrified them and Garner only played in the wrong keys or something like that.
I see, yeah. Yeah, Earl Garner, he had his own set way there, didn't he?
He certainly did,
Yeah. Earl Garner, he sat on a telephone book when he's at the piano. I guess to get him up there, he could be leaning down into the piano there.
Yeah.
I guess he was kind of tough on the piano too, though, Earl
I would
Garner.
imagine so.
Yeah.
It sounds like it had a lot of power.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been a great jam session to be at.
Yeah.
Is this at somebody's house?
Huh?
That what you were talking about up in with Tatum
Yeah.
and Lambert? Was that at somebody's house? It was after you went to
Oh,
Berkeley?
After Hours Club, I think.
They played together the Three Deuces, now I remember.
Who,
The Mike Colicchio, Art Tatum, and Earl Garner.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. The Three Deuces
Yeah.
on 52nd Street.
yeah.
Boy, that street was loaded with the music there.
Yeah.
Three
Mike had
Deuces.
absolute pitch, and so did his two children and his wife. They lived in Haworth, where I was stationed for 4 years,
Oh,
and she was a harpist and he was a pianist.
Uh-huh.
I don't think the kids ever followed the music, but they had absolute pitch.
Oh. Yeah, that 52nd Street was, where the street was music galore, all up and down the whole street. Jimmy Ryan's was on one side of the street, and Sidney Bechet. You didn't have to go into places, you could hear the music was coming right out the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Sidney Bechet was a bad cat. He shot a guy. The fact that the guy didn't die kept him out of jail.
Oh, you mean who, Sidney Bechet?
Yeah, he was awful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd they have a fight over, their dogs?
God knows.
He
It was
had a-
in Paris, I think.
Huh?
I think it was in Paris. It
Oh,
was
yeah?
overseas when it
Yeah.
happened. That's what I read,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know what it was about.
Oh, wait.
Tommy Ladnier and Sidney Bechet worked together for a long time. They were good buddies.
Uh-huh.
And Sidney was making clothing or something when they rediscovered him.
Do you get all the upper channels on this television?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's one channel, like 435, they have the big band sounds.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't use it much,
They
but
give you a little history of
yeah.
certain things that the bands were noted for too, or what they did in life. Yeah. And they have all the singers that come along too there,
Yeah.
you know. Sarah Vaughan and June Christie or different ones there.
Sarah Vaughan's from Orange, or East Orange, New Jersey.
Or Sarah Vaughan?
Yeah,
She's originally from Newark, I believe.
originally from Newark. okay.
Originally from Newark, yeah, yeah, yeah. She bought a house for her mother and father down at the end of Clinton Avenue, where Clinton and Elizabeth Avenue
Uh-huh.
and Avon Avenue, they all come to a junction down there. And I had a friend lived across the street, and the house, it stood out. It had storm windows and storm door with the initial on it. And it was the first time I ever saw a doorbell that lit up. I said, what's that there? They said, that's the doorbell. I said, there's a little light on it there, you know.
Yeah.
That was brand new to me.
Yeah.
It was just coming
The
out.
neighborhood now is 100% black.
Yeah, I guess it is there, yeah,
I went there with the one who did.
yeah. Huh?
I went there with a guy who said he was a musician, but he was a drummer. He said his name was
Oh, yeah.
Green, Leonard Green. He said he played with James Moody.
Mm-hmm.
But Leonard was one of my clients in Newark. We got to be friends actually.
Mm-hmm.
And we went by the recreation hour at the local public school, and everybody was black. I said, Leonard, what about Bussy? He says, everybody's black in this neighborhood. There aren't any other
Uh-huh.
colors, you know.
Yeah. There was a guy hanging in our place there, I forget his name, he was on the basketball team, and they went down to one of the schools down there. I don't know whether it was Cleveland Junior High or down on Morton Street. And they played a basketball game. And I said, did you win? They said, no. When we went into the locker, the guy that had the switchblade knives, they said, now you guys are not going to win.
Oh, really?
And this is going back to in the early 50s or the middle 50s.
Mhm.
Yeah. I said, you didn't play the game right then, huh? He said, no, we had to lose that game. Yeah.
Seton Hall had a star from Orange, New Jersey. I believe his name was Hurt.
Who? Somebody, a singer?
No, a basketball player.
Basketball player?
And he had springs in his feet. He would catch passes that they thought they threw high enough to get past him. He could jump up, get his whole elbow over the rim. And Frankie Hurt was a seminarian that we had.
From Orange?
From Orange, yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby
Bobby Hurt?
Hurt, yeah.
Was it Bobby Hurt?
Bobby Hurt, yeah.
I saw him play when they were the state champs there. They had a tough team to play. They played Thomas Jefferson from Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
And and Bobby Hurt had a fever that night. He had a cold. He didn't feel good, but they won. And then they went to Atlantic City to play Atlantic City High School, and it was all over at halftime. It was Orange was they had double the score of the other team there, though. Orange. And Bobby Hurt, he threw up everything but the floor.
Yeah, they said in the little gym in Orange, he didn't have to look at the basket to throw the ball in.
Yeah,
He just knew by the flooring where to throw
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Irvin Turner was from, the baseball player, what was his name?
Monty Irving, but he would think he was Cuban.
Monty Irvin?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
I'm not good on sports, Frank.
yeah, yeah.
And my memory for names is ridiculous.
And Tony Galento,
Ah, two-ton Tony.
yeah. He would,
Boxer.
he would come over with Sam McGee, had the Normandy, and Tony was hanging there because Sam had a gym in the back. And Sam would come over and he said, Frank, yeah, he says, geez, I got to get some gear off of you. I got to get rum and gin. Can you give me 2 bottles of whiskey? And you get some Rheingold 12 ounce? Yeah, and I spot him that there. He said, look, I'll be, when the weekend gets through, he said, you come over Monday night, he says, and I'll have the money for you. And he'd have Tony Galento with him. And Tony'd be going like this here, drinking too much, he said. And then Sam would be saying, don't pay no attention to Tony. He took too many lefts. He's a little punchy. These two guys were talking about each other, you know.
Yeah.
And then I get down to Sam McGee, 26 Main Street there. Sam, he told me to come down and pick up a little money there. Yeah, he said, Frank, he said, he had 2 dogs. And one dog was Girly Girl. He said, Girly Girl over there. I said, yeah, there's Girly Girl. She hid the money bag. He couldn't find the money bag. So he couldn't pay me.
The dog.
Blaming the dog. I say, well, all right, I'll be back.
I used to visit a home on Long Island, and the dog that they had at that particular time would take one of my shoes and hide it so I couldn't go home.
Oh,
I used to stay overnight, and in the morning I'm looking for him. Where's my other shoe?
yeah.
The dog did, every time I went there, the dog did that.
Oh, boy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You said one time your father had 4 pianos in that.
That's
bar.
right, yeah.
They were all in the bar?
Well, he had one in the basement. Oh, no, he had 2 in the basement. He bought a George Steck.
Yeah.
He had a George Steck, a player piano.
Okay.
And it was in mint condition. It was nice, but the player part didn't play there. And then he had a Llewellyn, a Lauder Llewellyn. That was made in Newark. That was a piano company in Newark. Lauder piano company that was in Newark. And that was a player piano, and that didn't play there. But he had that one up there they fixed. That was a Hardman Peck. And then the one behind the bar was a Sommer.
Yeah.
And then he had that other one in the corner up in the front there. It was an upright. It was a Steinway or something like that, you know, yeah. So there was 1, 2, 3. He had 5 pianos there, you know, yeah.
Ah, okay.
And I was in New York, and I was not on 57th Street near Broadway or 7th Avenue. I was 56th Street. I think was a street where there was a lot of pianos places. The back of Steinway and this one and that one, a lot of piano places. And there was a guy working on a piano, Baby Grand, and it was a player piano. He said, they're very rare. And I said, I know they're rare. I said, you know, my father, he's got 4 of them. And the guy looked at me like, he said, no, it's just this guy, a crazy guy talking like that guy. And he's telling me he's got 4 of them. I was telling the truth, but he didn't believe me, the man. Yeah. I mean, somebody tell you they got 4 Baby Grand player pianos. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
You say,
too.
yeah. But I was telling the truth, but he thought I was nuts, the guy. Yeah. And he had the that came from Birdland.
Yeah.
And he rented the piano. The place, they rent the pianos too, don't they? They don't
Yeah,
buy
some
them,
of them.
they rent them, yeah.
Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on it, yeah.
And they must have drank and smoked a lot because it was like, all in that where all the pegs were. It was
Yeah.
all just, you could just scoop it out with a spoon and a butter knife or something like that. It was just a mixture of Coca-Cola, beer, wine, whiskey,
Yeah.
tobacco, ashes, and
Yeah.
everything. It was just,
And that was the Birdland piano?
yeah. It was worse than a New York taxi, yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna motor on home. Harvey, I hope you feel better there.
I'm
Yeah.
not feeling too bad now that I'm relaxing, but
Yeah. Plenty of rest and a little Alka-Seltzer Plus if you can take it, or
Yeah.
NyQuil or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I used to tell them down there, and they said, now give me that Hennessy. I said, no good.
Well, thanks for coming by. Chris.
Yeah, thanks so much, and, jeez. Yeah, that's great.
There's notice here.
Yeah, and if you think of it sometime as pictures of the bar,
Yeah, I'll,
love to
yeah, I
get
got
a
a picture of the
copy.
building there, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I got a couple pictures there.
it'll really
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
It will help. Do something. Here, I'll play a tune. There you go. Try his method. Yeah, like that. I'll play one before you take off there anyway.
That number, did you say, you said something about Hallelujah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when Don went to New York to get into the Union, 802, is that the number 802?
802, right. That's it.
Yeah, and they said, can you play the piano? You're a musician? Yeah, let's hear you play. Don played Hallelujah,
Yeah.
and I think he played about half of it, and the guy said, okay,
Yeah.
here's your card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Well,
Yeah.
breathe.
But he used to knock hell out of that number there.
Well, yeah, that's one of his numbers that I've studied.
Yeah,
There was one of the many times we recorded it.
Yeah.
There was one that was not so fast, you know.
Uh-huh.
And so I took that one and I wrote down what he played so I could learn some of the figures. It's very typical figures, you know.
uh-huh.